This video will feature zero story spoilers for RDR2. If you've ever spent time in Red Dead Redemption's 2 massive open world, you may have traveled through the region of Lemoyne, specifically the swamp region of it, a region at the southeast end of the map. At first glance, it may seem bustling, warm, yes, but inviting, boasting the biggest city in the game, Saint Denis. But beneath the surface, the horrors of Lemoyne reveal themselves. Here are 3 examples. Number 1. At the end of a long, hard day of travel, you may find yourself looking for a place to set up camp for the night. This is not a good idea, as the swamp is full of a group that call themselves the Night Folk. The Night Folk are a strange group of deranged murderers, akin to zombies, that prowl the swamp at night, moving in animalistic and extremely fast movements. None of them use guns or speak, but they are still extremely formidable. Signs that night folk are in the area include strung-up bodies and crying noises. One of their tactics include luring the player using the bait of a woman crying, but when you approach her, she stabs you, and around 15 more night folk come out of the brush, running at you with all kinds of melee weapons, still remaining completely silent, except for strange clicks to communicate with each other. The night folk remain mysterious, as nobody really knows what they're after, with theories ranging from demonic cult to zombies to simply a deranged gang. Getting a closer look at them, you can see they are pale white, and many of them look like they're decomposing. Around Lemoyne, you also might find skulls and ritualistic-looking sites, hinting that the demonic cult theory may hold some water. After encountering the night folk, a stranger's mission becomes playable, in which the player helps a man defend his homestead from night folk, which shows that the locals of the swamp are aware and sometimes bothered by the night folk. While the night folk aren't the most prevalent gang or group in RDR2, they stand apart by being the most mysterious and creepy, so watch your back when moving through Lemoyne at night. Besides the night folk, Lemoyne can actually be a very welcoming place. For example, places like La Grasse or even Rhodes will welcome you with open arms and some classic southern hospitality. But this isn't always the case. If you find yourself traveling through the deep, innermost swamp of the region, it's possible that you'll run into a small log shack. Holding open the door is a small, normal enough looking guy. He'll greet the player and ask if you'd like to come inside and take a load off after a long trek. At first, it sounds like a nice enough gesture, not uncommon for the area. But if you decide to come inside, what happens next is disturbing, to say the least. Sawney hits you, and your vision blurs, before being knocked out cold. When you wake up, you're a walk from the cabin, with all your cores drained. It is heavily implied. Wait, trigger warning first. Anyways, it's implied that Sonny sexually assaulted the player when they were out cold, based on the dialogue you can hear when you're knocked out and the stuff he says if you return to the cabin. When returning to the cabin, killing Sonny will not lower your honor, but many players decide to hogtie him and raid his house before doing so, or disposing of him in a more creative/fitting manner. Overall, Sonny remains one of the most realistic and disturbing horrors in the swamp. Number 3. Monster of Saint Denis. Near the McFarlane's ranch is Henningen's Stead, is an overturned wagon with a coffin, which, after some digging in the Saint Denis paper, turns out to be transporting Bosco Lopez's body.
After he'd been sentenced to death, but we can see this didn't go as planned. While RDR2 is full of unnerving small details, this is more than set dressing, and actually connects to a larger mystery in the city of Saint Denis that's not marked by a quest, random encounter, or any stranger's missions. In 5 unique locations in the middle of Saint Denis, you'll find poems written in white. 1. Behind the butcher shop. I drink from the maiden and live again in the dead. The heart of the ring of blood. All the other messages say similar, really creepy things, so I'm not going to read them all.
After marking all these locations in your journal, they connect to make a pentagram. The center of the pentagram is a back alley, which, in order to catch our suspect in the act, we'll need to stake out until 11 in the night, where we can catch our murderous friend in the act.
If this is actually Lopez, he certainly doesn't look human. He appears pale and vampiric, which would explain how he escaped his would-be execution. If you decide to kill him, you can actually gain a special weapon called the Oriental Dagger, though it doesn't have any special properties I know of. Whether Lopez is actually undead or not is up to interpretation, as Red Dead likes to keep its supernatural elements ambiguous for the most part. But the fact that he broke out of his own coffin and then went straight to Saint Denis to suck people dry is quite suspicious. Though it's possible he's not a vampire, but is just demonically possessed, hence the pentagram. Also, you usually have to have been bitten by a vampire to become one, but who knows? Maybe the Red Dead world is full of vampires we just don't know about. Food for thought. The Swamp of Lemoyne is full of secrets, some that I couldn't even cover in this video. So if you want me to make a part 2 or a video on a different region or topic, leave a comment down below. Red Dead 2 and its predecessor are teeming with life and mystery, so the potential is endless.